Hello there. Thanks for joining me this Saturday. I'm Otto Othman and these are tonight's top stories. Low voter turnouts for Byelections and Sri Shafie by-elections. Toddler among family of 4 killed in Johor crash. And earthquakes rock China and the Philippines. We begin tonight's bulletin with a tragic story. 4 in a family comprising a husband and wife as well as their 2 children, one of them a toddler, died in a horrific crash in Sagamat, Johor today. The accident occurred at Jalan Johor Baru, Seremban near Kampung Melayu Raya around 1:40 p.m. 51-year-old Nizam Othman was driving the family's Honda Stream from Labis headed towards Sagamat when the tragedy struck. A trailer coming from the opposite direction is believed to have skidded in the heavy rain and crashed headlong into the family's car. The crash killed Nizam, his wife Nur Fazlin Jamaluddin, aged 37, and 2 of their children, Nur Nakia Nizam, 7, and Muhammad Niaz Nizam, 2. Their eldest son, 9-year-old Muhammad Nakib Nizam, survived but sustained injuries after the impact of the crash flung him out of the vehicle. The driver of the trailer also survived the crash, and both injured victims were taken to the Sagamat hospital for treatment. Meanwhile, 8 men were injured when a Proton Satria skidded and crashed into a bus stop in Petaling Jaya, Selangor this morning. 7 of the injured were Bangladesh citizens. In the 8:45 a.m. incident, the driver of the car lost control of his vehicle after swerving to avoid crashing into a bus which was pulling to a stop at the bus shelter. The car then rammed into the man at the bus stop at Jalan Sepah Putri 5/1, Section 5 in Kota Damansara. There were 7 Bangladeshi workers and a local man waiting at the bus stop when the incident occurred. All the injured, including the car driver, were sent to the Sungai Buloh Hospital for treatment. A steel factory in Kampung Jawa, Klang, Selangor was destroyed in a fire early this morning. Fortunately, no casualties were reported in the incident. Now, 4 fire engines with 37 firemen from Shah Alam, Andalas and Kota Raja were dispatched to the scene after receiving a distress call around 3 a.m. Quick action by the firefighters prevented the blaze from spreading to other nearby factories. The operation ended after the flames were put out several hours later. According to the Fire and Rescue Department, the B-class factory was completely destroyed in the incident. The cause of the fire and the amount of losses were still under investigation. Now, in other news, a parliamentary seat will be vacated to pave the way for Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim to contest. PKR President Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, who is also Deputy Prime Minister, confirmed the matter today. However, she said when and where the seat concerned would be vacated for the PKR President-elect could not be announced at present.
Saya kira belum lagi kita boleh umumkan, tapi memang kita dah kena pastilah mana-mana yang sepatutnya insya-Allah ada wakil rakyat kita yang telah menawarkan mengosongkan tempatnya untuk membolehkan Sri Anwar bertanding insya-Allah.
Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah was speaking to reporters after launching the National Welfare Foundation (YKN) Palestine People's Fund campaign in Putrajaya today. Last night, PKR Vice President Rafizi Ramli revealed that the party would vacate a parliamentary seat next week to enable Datuk Sri Anwar to contest. Meanwhile, asked on the statement by Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who was not satisfied with the performance of the cabinet ministers, Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah, who is also Women, Family and Community Development Minister, said it was a reminder for them to discharge their duties better. Moving on, the Kelantan state government is the biggest benefactor of federal monetary aid to help tackle its cash flow issues and pay its staff salaries. As such, Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said the state needs to improve its financial management and increase its revenue to reduce its dependence on federal government. In a statement, Lim also said Kelantan received 913 million ringgit in the form of financial deficit assistance and advance funds assistance to date. From 2013 to 2017, the state government received 363 million ringgit to cover its operating account deficit meant for operating expenditures. Without the financial assistance, Lim stated that the state government would not be able to afford emolument payments to state civil servants. Kelantan is also the biggest recipient of financial aid to help its cash flow with 550 million ringgit. Lim also highlighted that Kelantan is the only state which had recorded a deficit in its operating account for more than 5 years running. Two university students who were detained following a protest at the Education Ministry over their dissatisfaction on the appointment of Education Minister Dr. Mazli Malik as Universiti Islam Antarabangsa Malaysia UUIM President have been freed on police bail today. Putrajaya Police Chief ACP Rosli Hassan said police had taken statements from both students before releasing them on police bail at about 6:30 a.m. this morning. In a statement earlier, he also said the investigation papers will be completed soon and will be referred to the Deputy Public Prosecutor for a decision. Now, according to ACP Rosli, at about 9:10 a.m. yesterday, a group of university students comprising 4 men and 3 women were present at the ministry to demand Dr. Mazli's resignation as Education Minister or as IIUM President. He added that the students felt that the minister's IIUM appointment was going against the Pakatan Harapan's manifesto, which promised autonomy and to free universities from political interference. Now, coming up, young woman loses thumb over bad habit. We'll find out more after the break. Welcome back. Now let's take a look at our daily segment, Clickbait, for what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. Now remember the times when we were reproved by our parents for biting our nails all the time? Well, they now have a very good reason for saying that. But before we proceed, let's take note that there will be some graphic images ahead, so viewer discretion is advised. This is Courtney Withorn, a student who had to amputate her thumb after it developed a rare type of cancer that is believed to be linked to biting her nails. Apparently, the 20-year-old began biting her nails when she was bullied at school at the age of 16. Unfortunately, her nail-biting habit worsened, and in 2014, she even bit her whole thumbnail off, and it never grew back properly. And that's where it all began. After that, she kept her thumb hidden from everyone for 4 years. But once it started to turn black, she finally showed it to her parents. In July 2018, Courtney was diagnosed with acral lentiginous subungual melanoma, ALM, a form of skin cancer due to severe trauma on her thumb from nail biting. Since her diagnosis, Courtney underwent 4 surgeries in hopes to save her thumb, but she was forced to amputate it last week as cancerous cells were still present in her skin. Moving on, she added that she is still waiting for the results from last week's surgery to see if she is clear from the cancerous cells. So kids, listen to your parents and don't bite your nails or you might risk losing your finger. Now, updated as of 7 p.m., here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. Now on to the twin by-elections in Selangor. After 21 days of campaigning, voters in Byelections and Sri Shafie cast their ballots today to choose their new representatives. However, the voters' turnout was the lowest in recent history for the twin by-elections, and despite the Election Commission's extending the voting period by another half an hour at 5:30 p.m. According to EC Deputy Chairman Tan Sri Othman Mahmud, only 44% voters cast their ballots in Sri Shafie and 43% in Byelections. They were lower even compared to 49.8% voters turnout in the Sungai Kandis by-election. Now, we are still waiting for the official results but unofficially, the Pakatan Rakyat candidates are set to win both by-elections. Now, to get updates on the results for the Sri Shafie by-election, let's cross over to our reporter, Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, who is now on location at the Majlis Bandaraya Petaling Jaya Civic Hall. Now, hi, Wan Azizah. Can you tell us what's happening over there?
Good evening, Otto, and thank you very much. Yes, I'm here at the Civic Hall in Petaling Jaya, where they are currently tallying up the votes for the Sri Shafie by-election. Now, it is expected that the official results will only be announced by around 9 to 10 p.m. later tonight. But from what we can tell from the unofficial results tally, is that Pakatan Harapan candidate Halimi Abu Bakar has edged that of his competition, Dr. Halima Ali from PAS. Now, as of 8 p.m., the unofficial results is that Pakatan Harapan with 12,690 votes, or 58.8%, compared to PAS with 8,890 votes, or 41.2%. Now, for your information, Otto, a total of 18 polling stations with 115 voting channels were open from 8 a.m. this morning till 5:30 p.m. According to preliminary data by the Election Commission, the voter turnout for Sri Shafie itself was recorded at 44%. If this is true, it would likely be one of the lowest turnouts in the history of the by-election, possibly even lower than that of the recently concluded Sungai Kandis by-election, which saw a final turnout of only 49.4%. During the May 9th election, this is for comparison, the final turnout for that of Sri Shafie was just over 84%. Now, apart from political fatigue, the turnout for Sri Shafie by-elections today might have been hampered by that of the weather, such as the rain, as well as the long weekend holiday, which would mean that some of the families returning to their hometowns or going on holiday. Now, just for your information, Deputy Election Commission Chairman Tan Sri Othman Mahmud had on Tuesday set a target of 70% voter turnout. Now, I guess that's all from me here in the Civic Hall in Petaling Jaya. Let's head over to my colleague Sarah Abdullah for the Byelections by-election updates.
Thank you, Wan. Yes, I am at the official tallying center at the Hulu Langat Land and District Office in Bangi, where the members of the media are still waiting for the official announcement by the Election Commission, EC. Now, the first ballot box has arrived and entered the hall at 7:15 p.m. by the returning officer. And basically, right now, I only have unofficial results gathered from various platforms. And from the unofficial results that I have, as of 7:45 p.m., Wong Siu Ki from Pakatan Harapan is leading with 22,070 votes, followed by Tan Chi Tiong from MCA with 3,925 votes. But please be reminded that this is unofficial results and we are still waiting for more ballot boxes to arrive, and the numbers may change every minute. And right now the EC are announcing the official results for each stream in the polling centres, and from what they have announced so far, Siu Ki is leading with 2,579 votes and followed by Chi Tiong with 365 votes. And these figures are only the result from 14 ballot boxes, and please be reminded that in total we have 130 ballot boxes, so definitely a long way to go. Hopefully we can have more updated results soon. As for the voters turnout, it is quite shocking to see the development of the percentage from only 9% in the first hour to 31% 7 hours later. And from the official percentage by the EC as at 5:30 p.m., the percentage only increased to 43%, far lower than the EC's initial target of 70%. If this is the official turnout, it means this is the lowest turnout in the history of by-elections in the country, followed by the Penanti by-election in 2009 with 46%. And this could be due to various factors, such as maybe the voters do not feel the momentum or heat of the by-election and feel that their vote will not bring much difference to the whole result, as they had just voted 4 months ago in the previous general election. And Byelections is well known as the AP's stronghold, so maybe they are too comfortable or overconfident on their preferred candidates' chances in the polls. However, nothing is official yet, as there are no official announcement from the EC, and right now the main hall is still buzzing with the arrival of ballot boxes, and maybe it will take a few more hours before the whole process will be concluded, but hopefully the official result will be announced just as the EC's expectation, which is to have it done the latest by 10 p.m. So I think that's all from me, Sarah Abdullah, live from Hulu Langat Land and District Office in Bangi. Back to you, Otto, at the studio.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for those insights on the Byelections by-election, and to Wan Izul earlier for Sri Shafie. Now, to recap, the voter turnout of registered voters for both by-elections were even lower than the recently concluded Sungai Kandis polls. Now, could this indicate election fatigue among voters following the 14th general election, GE14? Political pundits had previously predicted this, as well as the fact that the polling day fell on a long day and a 3-day weekend. To find out more about that and other factors that could have contributed to the low voter turnout, with us now is Eng Yin Sin, the founder and CEO of the Center for Research and Technology, Create. Hi, Yin Sin. Thanks for joining us. Now, do share why you think that both the Sri Shafie and Byelections by-elections experienced such a low turnout of voters.
I can't hear you at all. The music is really loud. Hello?
Hi, Yin Sin. Yin Sin, my question is, can you share with us why you think that both the Sri Shafie and Byelections by-elections experienced such a low turnout of voters?
Sorry, the music is so loud.
Can you hear me, Yin Sin?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yeah?
All right, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now, can you share with us why you think that both the Sri Shafie and Byelections by-elections experienced such a low turnout for voters?
Well, I after Pakatan Harapan has won, with a historic victory to govern Malaysia. But of course, which have been under the Selangor Pakatan government over the last two terms. So I think hi, I can hear the music really loud.
Looks like we have some technical issues. Moving on. In other news, lawyer Tan Sri Shafie Apdal has admitted that he had received 9.5 million ringgit from the government. However, he said it was payment for his legal work for Barisan Nasional and UMNO since early 1990s.
In a 6-page statement, Tan Sri Shafie said he had raised the issue of unpaid legal fees to Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak during a meeting in September 2013. He also said the amount had accumulated to 20 million ringgit, including 11 million worth of legal work in 46 election petition files in 2004 and 2006. Datuk Sri Najib, however, agreed to pay 9.5 million ringgit as complete settlement of the legal fees for the 46 election petition matters. According to the lawyer, he was questioned by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) last year as the matter became an issue because of the One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB scandal, in which he showed the anti-graft body the billing files and his banking documents to reflect the receipt of the 9.5 million ringgit and their disbursements. Tan Sri Shafie also said he had given further statements to the MACC about 3 weeks ago and again showed them the same documents. The lawyer also claimed Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad wanted him to be made special prosecutor in Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim's Sodomy II appeals. He also alleged that the Prime Minister had insisted on his appointment as Tun Dr. Mahathir did not have the confidence that the Attorney General's chambers would be able to competently manage the appeals.
Thank you very much, Yisin, for your thoughts and for joining us on 7 Edition. Now we're going for a short break now, and when we return, massive quakes rock the Philippines and southwest China. More details when we return. Thank you for staying with us. Chaos ensued in neighboring Philippines as a huge earthquake measuring 6.3 in magnitude shook parts of southern Mindanao on Saturday afternoon. Now, according to local media Inquirer.net, the 3:16 p.m. tremor was followed with power outages in Baganga town and Mati City. A landslide was also reported in an upland village in Manay. However, there were no immediate reports of any casualties or damages from the quake so far. Now, 4 people suffered minor injuries after a 5.9 magnitude earthquake struck southwest China's Yunnan province earlier on Saturday. The quake occurred in Mojianghani Autonomous County at a depth of 11 kilometers, shallow enough to be felt across 20 towns in the province. Now, so far, no deaths have been reported, but moderate damages were seen. Now, the morning quake registered at about 10:31 a.m. local time was the third to hit the country this month. Only 24 hours before, the same region was hit by a less powerful quake. Shakings were recorded on CCTV, and authorities say that despite the higher reading, the impact of the tremor was low. There were minor damages across 21 homes, with traffic, telecommunications and power supply reported normal in most parts of Tongguan, a town nearest to the epicenter. The Ministry of Emergency Management has initiated an emergency response with over 100 people dispatched to disaster scenes to carry out relief efforts. A wooden block can be carved and shaped into a beautiful art piece by using the correct print-making technique. However, this form of art is facing the threat of extinction due to a lack of appreciation. Farhana Milawaze finds out more about printmaking.
Relief print, silkscreen, planography and monoprint techniques, as well as woodcut, linocut, etching, embossing and dry point methods. These are some of the terms used in the printmaking world that some might not have even heard of.
Karya ini adalah karya cetakan kayu yang saya hasilkan. Bagaimana saya hasilkan karya ini semasa hampir-hampir dengan waktu pilihan raya kita yang baru-baru ini.
This work is done with a technique that's called wood block print. You get a wood block and then we carve. Everything we carve away is white. And now the work is inspired by a young artist from Sabah.
Apart from requiring specialized knowledge and precise handling of tools and materials, this fine art medium also demands high skills in making it.
Thumbprints on identification cards, potato stamps in schools art project and funky elements on t-shirt. Premaking has been around since forever. Valued for its imaginative, aesthetic and also intellectual substance, premaking is an artistic testament to patience and perfection.
The Art of Premaking, Lasting Impressions, that is currently held at the Bank Negara Malaysia Museum and Art Gallery until November 25th, showcases more than 150 enthralling print works from the 1930s finest to the present day.
Kita tampilkan seramai 29 orang seniman printmaking yang bermula daripada tahun 1930-an sehingga ke hari ini. Jadi apa yang kita cuba tampilkan adalah sejarah dan juga semangat-semangat seniman ni dalam menghasilkan yang tak pernah berputus asa dalam menghasilkan seni cetakan yang macam yang sering diperkatakan is an underappreciated art.
It is not too late to realize that printmaking has a huge potential in the country. One needs only to open up their hearts and minds to see that there's more to printmaking than just commercialized products such as books, newspapers and textiles. Farah Nabilah Wazir for 7 Edition.
A video shot on Tuesday shows Mito, the kestrel, washing itself in an inflatable pool. And naturally, the video went viral as netizens worldwide swooned over the adorable fluff. Now take a look at the feathered creature's cleansing session in slow motion as we wrap up tonight's bulletin. I'm Tonton. Thanks for watching and have a lovely weekend.